Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So I had covered the multiple sessions on this assembly and drafting sessions on different softwares like SolidWorks and Fusion 360 as well as 3D Experience, CATIA and all. So today I'm here with the Creo. Okay, so let's get started with this. So we'll take the bench wise as an example here. Okay, so to deal with the assembly workbench, you can directly go to new, and from there you can choose the assembly template, and you can specify the file name here. So file name should not have the space in between. If you have it, it will give the error warning. So to avoid it in between, you better add the underscore. Okay, so now the template you can choose. So I'll be using the unit system as mm. Can select the same thing. Yeah, so once you define it, by default the assembly workbench will be here. If you use the dropdown, you're gonna have these all the options, package and assemble and all. So shortcut is A. So if you press A keyboard shortcut, it will directly take you to the uh, assemble, and from here you can choose the required file format and import. So I'll be using the body with step files here, part as a reference. And here, instead of automatic, I'll use the default because this is the first component. If I take it default, it will be fully constrained. You can see the stays there, it is fully constrained. Okay, yeah. So next component, I'd like to have it as the voice crew. So from this option you can turn off these all the planes and all, and the corner systems and the axis. Okay, and to change the display style, you can switch to the display styles, and you can just activate the shaded with edges like this. So these are the heads up view tools. Yeah, so now you can add the next component by using the same tool, that is assemble. Is the shortcut to activate the assemble. And here I'll select the sliding jaw as a part, and here by default you'll be having it. You can use these CYCs to just drag your component, and you can even move it. Okay, so this is a kind of 3D compass, and this is a separate window. This will help you to just shorten your mating techniques. So from this you can select the faces of the another component, and from the main window you can select the parent mates. Okay, right now I'll be mating this particular face with the inside face. Yeah, the coincident. To add the new mate, you can click on new constraint, or else you can directly select the faces. Automatically the new constraints will be added. So you could see this particular face selection is invalid. So instead of selecting these faces, I'll just remove this, and I'll add this face as a reference. So instead of the coincident, I would like to have the distance meet. So you can simply click on the graphics area to activate it. You can use this particular point and drag it according to the required value. So here I'll specify it as 65 would be fine. Okay, so this is fully constrained. Assumption constraint is checked. Now it is partially constrained, so it can even rotate. Can you see this? From this particular compass you can able to analyze which DOF is remaining. So I'd like to add one more constraint. So I can click on new constraint and this face and this face. Now this would be fine. Can have the coincident mate here. Now this is fully constrained. You could see the status. You can simply click on green check to deal with the next mates. It's quite simple. The mates are different in each and every software. The workbench is also different, but that's fine. So holding the control and dragging will help you to just zoom in and zoom out. Holding the shift and dragging it will help you to the pan the components. Okay. And now I'd like to add next component. This is the chow plate. So now from the separated window, I'll select the back face, and here I'll select this face. This is fine, and this face and inside surface, so coincident. Or these two again coincident. This would be fine. So there is a meet which is invalid. So this shouldn't be normal. Actually, it is coincident. I'll change it. Now this is fine. So it is still partially constrained. Only two meets has been taken. So I need to assign one more meet. So with respect to this face and the inside face. Now it is fully constrained. Right? Likewise, you can assign the meets. Now here you can copy the same component and you can even apply the repeat tool. I'll showcase that tool later. Here I'll add one more plate this side. So again I'll use the same component, that is chop plate, and I'll assemble it. So this face and this body face, it should be coincident. New meat, the top face, you could see the orientation, right? This one and this one. So yeah, could see it is invalid. The tapered faces got selected. Instead of that, the tangent faces should be selected. You can remove this selection. You can add this. It is coincident, but still partially constrained. Rotation is still there. So I'd like to add one more meet with respect to this face and inside this particular face. This is coincident. Fully constrained, that's fine. Yeah. So like this, you can add the components. So next component is to add the voice crew. So this is the component. This is reversely oriented. I'll just rotate it like this so that I can easily place it instead of using the multiple like flip tool and all. So now let's say the mate is inactive, right? You can right click and you can just use this option, that is edit definition. From there it will be activated. Separate window and activate this face and this inside face. So now you could see the translation, one translation and one rotation is there in this particular component. So what I'll do is I'll constrain the translation here from this face to this face. The distance meet, I'll change the value to 10 mm. Okay, due to the screws and all, that will be properly mated inside. So assumption, I don't want to, because that particular constraint I need it should rotate, right? Yeah, I'll keep it like this instead of fully constraining by using the assumption. Next component is this, the handle rod. Now this face and inside face. coincident. The rotation and translation is still there. That's okay, fine, no issues. I need it. The both I need anyway. Practically, the mechanism will be like this. The movement will be like this. So I don't need to constrain them. Simply click on OK. Okay. So yeah. So if you want to rotate the model, you can just click on this drag components and you can rotate it according to the degrees of freedom which are there. So it will rotate. Okay, remember that. So next component, you can just browse. It's the handle ball. Okay. So here I'll simply rotate it, this face and the top face, and then this particular face and this inside face. It shows oriented. I would like to have it as coincident. Fine. Green check. It's fully defined. Now I want to just copy this model and paste it here. So what you can do is you can click on this one and you can use the repeat tool so that the component with respect to mates also, let's just select one mate. Let me just select this one, the coincident with the hole. I'll just click on add and I'll select this face, so it will be added there according to the parent orientation. Okay, so you could see this is how it is placed. Now the thing is, it is oriented reversely. Coincident, you could see, you can just reverse it, or you can use the flip option to flip the mate. Close it. Done. So like this you can add the mates. If you want to add the multiple components with the same features and same mates, you can use this repeat tool. Okay, well, so next one, the collar. I'll simply insert this and this should be placed inside. So this face and this inside face, this and this. It is still partially constrained. It can have it has 2 degrees of freedom, translation and even rotation. So here I'll simply drag it inside. I'll flip the mate. Yep, this is fine. Now I'm done with the assembly. I'd like to create the drafting for this assembly drafting. You can use the template drawing, and here I'd like to go with the without template. I don't want to use any of the template, so let's go with the blank. Okay, so the standard sheet format, I'll choose A1, template empty, I'll take it. Now here, if you want to place the views, we have the general views. Just click on it. You can just select combine streets and it will show all the standard views. So just check, apply and see. This is default orientation. I'd like to have the isometric view. From default orientation you can change it. So here in the categories we have the visibility area. You can just use the options like half view and full view. If you have the section views, you can able to create it and you can use the same thing if you have created the section view. So this is the scale option, so you can increase it to 2 and 1.5, let's say. Yeah, this is fine. Section views, same thing, you can add it. And then visibility states, from here you can change it. And these are the view displays. So these are the different options, you can use it later on. Yeah, so this is respect to the position and the alignments. Well, this is fine. I'll simply click on OK. These are the different options, like in the orientation wireframe, these all the things are there, so you can add it later on. So right now, yeah, you can use this one, default shading with edges, because I need the colored view here. So it is locked, you can't move it. You can use this lock view movement and uncheck this option so that you can move this one. Remember that. So you can't simply drag the views if the lock view movement is active. I'd like to add other three views, the front, side and top views, just for reference. So you can just use these orientations and cross check how they have oriented. I'll consider it as front view. Scaling, I'll reduce it. Yeah, display style, change it. No hidden, and I'll simply place it here. Now I'd like to use the projected view to simply create other views instead of using the general view. You can select this and drag it out like this. And I do need the side view. I'll orient them like this. Now the display style I need to change. I'll go with the view display, no hidden. And same thing for this, double click or right click and properties. Okay, remember to activate the tabs. Now I'd like to create the BOM table here. We have the manual as well as automatic methods, so you can switch to the table tab. From your table drop down, you have the insert table, so manually you can create it and you can even assign all the properties. So I'd like to use the BOM description down, so default one. I'll drag and drop it here. And to do that, it will capture all the components. Now I'd like to change the size of this table, so you can use this. So if you double click on this, you can use the this particular table properties to increase the height and the width of this. So you can just make changes according to the requirement. So width, I would like to take 3 is a bit small, 4.5 is too big, 4 is okay, no issues. Now I'll just drag and place it somewhere here in the corner, and this view, here it is, fine. Now the font size is too small, right? To make the changes to all the fonts, just select all, use the text style from formatting. Default is 0.156, and now I need to make the changes here. 0.5, no, 0.2, oh, too small. 0.5 is too big. Yeah, 0.3 is fine. The font, you can see these all are the different fonts are available. You can choose it with respect to the requirement. Like to use times. The color, the font color, you can change it, and the alignment. Okay, so this is how you can just add it. Now if you want to change this note, so I would like to add the material instead of note, you can select this parameters from here, and in this we have the material name. Can you see? So if you assign the material, it will be added here. Now if you want to change the name here manually, just right click and use this rename option here, node properties, simply remove it. click OK. Fine. So or else you can manually create the BOM table and you can customize it according to your requirement. So that would be the appropriate one. Now, so once your assembly, no, still I need to assign the ballooning. You can switch to the table. We have the create balloon for all, but here I would like to create for this view. I'll select all. Okay, so select the view, and on that view balloonings will be created. You can double click and drag, and you can just orient them and you can arrange them with respect to the alignment wherever you need. Well, this is fine. Now if you want to just export it to PDF, we can use the save as. There, quick save, we have the PDF option, and from there you can directly have the PDF format. Yep, so this is how it's gonna look like finally. Yep, so this is the basics with respect to the assemblies and assembly drafting. I hope this tutorial might help you to grasp basic levels of assemblies and drafting inside the Creo workbench. Okay, that's all guys. Thank you. Stay tuned. Bye everyone.